Good morning. I hope we are all enjoying this lovely warm weather of summer that we're having. Tomorrow is Labor Day, the first Monday in September. I'm always glad to see Labor Day come because I know that Tuesday morning I'm going to wake up feeling that I've had a huge burden lifted from me. And that burden is the pressure of trying to have a good time all summer. It will be lifted and I will feel free. I wonder if we all know about Labor Day, how it came about. In the spring of 1894, in a long history of the last 15 years prior to that of organized labor getting started and going on strike in several instances to improve the conditions for the labor masses. In the spring of 1894, Eugene Debs organized the strike against the Pullman Company. And Pullman pretty much ran the railroad industry. They supplied the cars. And that strike shut down the rail systems in this country for weeks and weeks. And that, in effect, shut down the economy, because in those days, all of the goods, all of the products consumed by Americans were transported pretty much by the rail system. Well, 6 weeks after that strike concluded, Congress legislated that the first Mondays in September would be Labor Day, a national holiday, to celebrate the importance and the value of labor in this country. Interestingly enough, I'm going to read a quote from Eugene Debs. I am opposed to any social order in which it is possible for one man who does absolutely nothing that is useful to amass a fortune of hundreds of millions of dollars, while millions of men and women who work all the days of their lives secure barely enough for a wretched existence. A few years after this Pullman strike, Eugene Debs was put in prison for being an anarchist. And while he was in prison, he decided to run for president, and he did, in prison. And oddly enough, he secured over 10% of the popular vote in this country. When he got out of prison, he was going to run again, but he passed away. This week, Vivian wrote a wonderful Inquiring Minds. And I'm going to read it this morning because I think it's something that we could all do well to ponder. Our nation celebrates another holiday on Monday, September 7th, Labor Day. To honor a person's work is an appropriate acknowledgement. By their works you shall know them. There are many interpretations of what work really means. For me, it means my assignment to use my interest and talent. For many, it means a vehicle to earn a paycheck. For others, it can mean various chores which need attention. What is your primary work? Could it be a certain service to individuals or our community? Whatever it means to you, stop and consider your work, what it does for you, how it contributes to our community? Do you see how important you are? Can you value your work as something only you can do in the way that you do it? May we be grateful for the opportunity to serve ourselves and our community via our work. Take some moments to contemplate these thoughts and feel good about what and who you are. What do we do? What do we call work? You know, I believe, and it's just my belief, but I believe that our purpose as human beings on this earth is to be the caregivers and the stewards to life on this planet. I read an interesting quote from a lady named Chris Jamie, whose ideas follow those of Vivian's. Each job from the heart is ultimately of equal value. The nurse injects the syringe, the writer slides the pen, the farmer plows the dirt, and the comedian draws the laughter. Monetary income is the perfect deceiver of a person's true worth. Where do we focus our labors? Is what we do, what we work at, of value to ourselves, our community? Is it focused on the good of the whole? Or is it all about financial gain? My mentor, Will Rogers, said, what this country needs is dirtier fingernails and cleaner minds. I think all of us feel better when our work, when our labor, when our intention is in alignment with the universe, with spirit, with the harmony of the universe. I remember, some of you might remember, my stepdaughter Marissa, when I was married to Nancy. Marissa had her first or second job after high school. And I never heard Marissa swear much. But one day I came home from work, I don't know, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and her car was in the driveway. I thought, that's strange, she's usually at work. So I heard her before I got in the house. I walked in and she was slamming around in the kitchen and screaming and yelling. I thought she was having an argument with her mother, but there was nobody there. And she was turning the air blue. And I said, whoa, 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 what's the matter? And she was kind of startled that I was there. She said, I'm never working for those blankety, 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 blankety people again. I said, good grief, girl, what happened? She said, they fired me. And then I did something that I came to regret. I laughed. That didn't work out real well. But what is our intention? I think that Theodore Roosevelt described it a bit. He said, a man needs no sympathy because he has to work, because he has a burden to carry. Far and away, the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. What do we do with our time? Do we share our time and our talent and our thought and our treasure? I think we should all spend some time this Labor Day weekend trying to stay cool, but contemplating what we do with our lives on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. There's so much greed and division in our world today. So many challenges. And what we do now, I think, is so important concerning the future of our personal lives, the lives in our community, and the existence of life on this planet. Years ago, back in the early 80s, I worked for a printing company in San Francisco. There were two owners, Woody North and Bill Wong. Bill Wong was a very soft-spoken Asian fellow, and Woody North was a lot like Alfred Hitchcock. Looks-wise, personality-wise, a little belligerent most of the time. One day I was in the office and Woody looked at Bill. He said, "Bill, in one sentence, you're a Buddhist, in one sentence, define the Buddhist philosophy." Bill thought for a minute, and he said, "Well, I think that if at the end of your day, you can look at yourself in the mirror and know that you've done your best, then you can go to sleep knowing everything's going to be all right." And I've thought about that for years. And sometimes I avoid looking in the mirror before I go to sleep, because I know I'm going to ask myself that question. And far too many days, the answer to that question would be, no, I haven't done my best. I ask all of us to ask ourselves that question. Have we done our best for ourselves and those around us, for our community? I'm going to close today reading this closing statement that Vivian wrote this week. May we be grateful for the opportunity to serve ourselves and our community via our work. And may we contemplate these thoughts and feel good about what and who we are. May we celebrate what and who we are and our labors of love, and compassion, and acceptance this Labor Day. And so it is.